My name is Kim Shea. Today I want to talk about caregiving and anger. Anger is a very normal part of caregiving. It can make people uncomfortable because they don't like to think that they ever feel angry at a person who needs help, but it is a normal response. A woman contacted me recently. She had read something I had written in my weekly blog. And she said, I feel angry. I feel angry at my mom. She's always been this pillar of strength and independence. And now I'm having to do so much for her, and it's hard to watch. And I feel like my anger is spilling out towards my mom. So I reassured her that the anger is normal. It really is. And she's grieving. She's grieving for the loss of her mom. Even though her mom isn't gone yet, she's watching her mom slip away, and she's sad. She's mourning that. That mourning period can take years. People with dementia can be physically very healthy, but mentally they start to decline. And as the weeks or months go by, all of a sudden the chores that you have and the responsibilities stack up and stack up and stack up, and it can be overwhelming. So it's normal to feel that kind of frustration. So I recommended some simple things to her. I recommended that when she is at a point where she's getting so mad at her mom that she step out of the room if she can. Take some time. This is something you can do too. Just take some time for yourself. Step out of the room if you know the person is safe, and take some deep breaths. Jog in place. Do some jumping jacks if you like. Try and burn off a little bit of steam. If you have a little bit more time, maybe put your headphones on, listen to a little bit of music to try and pump yourself back up again, make yourself feel good, or some classical music if you need classical to slow you down, or listen to a spiritual tape if that is helpful to you. Just try and regroup. That's what you need to do first. Take a minute to regroup. Then some things I recommended to her were that she reach out to some other resources. Taking care of somebody with dementia is tough. It's a hard role. And because you have sometimes a problem with communicating to the person or getting the person to understand what you're telling them to do, or they might even be reaching a point in dementia, and this isn't everybody, but some people become physically violent and they'll lash out at their caregivers. It's not personal, but it still is hard to deal with, and it's hurtful too. So I recommend she reach out to some other resources to find people who will understand what she's dealing with. The one thing I recommended is that she call the Alzheimer's Association, and I will give you the hotline in this video and in the paragraph below this video. I would recommend you take that phone number and put it onto your cell phone. You can call the Alzheimer's Association hotline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Imagine if you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning and the person you're taking care of is wandering around the house, they can't sleep, and they're fiddling with everything, and they're trying to turn on the stove, and they're trying to get into the food, and they're watching television, and you have to keep an eye on them to keep them safe. But you're exhausted. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You can call that hotline and talk to somebody. And the great thing is they're going to be able to relate to you. There isn't anything you can say that they haven't heard before. You can tell them, I'm about to blow a gasket here. I can't take it anymore. Where I am, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Can you help me? They'll have some suggestions for you. They'll talk to you. They'll listen to you. What a nice thing. So be sure to write down that phone number and put that in your cell phone. Have it in there so you can find it if you need it. That's a wonderful resource. The other thing I recommended is that she join a support group, and not just any caregiver support group, but I suggested that she go to the Alzheimer's Association website and sign up with a support group there. Because again, she's going to be reaching out to people who understand. She's going to say something, and there's probably several other people who've done that already. They've dealt with that, and they'll know how to give you some ideas or maybe help you to gain some perspective on it, to see that maybe this is kind of funny or it's not as bad as you think. That's what she needs. She needs somebody who can be in this with her, who understands what she's coping with. I would recommend that. Outside of those resources, I suggested that she try to find some people who can help her, real life people. A lot of times you get people in your world who will come in and say, gosh, let me know what I can do to help, but they don't know what to do to help. So you need to tell them, well, here's something that would help you. When you go down to the pharmacy, could you pick up some of these items for me that we need today? Or if there's a child in the neighborhood and you have a dog that you're trying to take care of in addition to everything else you're doing, maybe you can ask a neighbor child to come in and walk that dog for you once a day. You give them a little bit of money, but it would take a load off of you. Online grocery delivery is wonderful. You go on there and you pick out your items and you can take all day to fill that out, and then usually it'll retain your list, and so from week to week you can ask for the same things. But that's such a nice thing when somebody knocks on your door. Oh, we got your groceries, and they bring them in and set them down for you. You didn't have to try and get your loved one out with you to the grocery store or try to find somebody to come in and watch them while you went out to the grocery store. So you need to look for ways to get help. And the dementia is going to progress over time. The demands on you will get harder. Your stress levels are also going to go up. So you need to start looking for ways to bring in some help. If you have family members who are not being as helpful as they should be, now's the time to start saying to them, here's what I need. I need 3 hours every Saturday. I need you to send me some gift cards. If you live far away, send me some gift cards for food so we can get food delivered in here on the nights when things have just gone crazy during the day. You want to put those things in place. Those were my tips for her to help cope with her anger. And I also suggested that if she felt like she really couldn't do it anymore and her anger was getting out of control, then it's time to also reach out to the Alzheimer's Association or to local caregiving groups that specialize in elder care in your area and say, I need to figure out how I'm going to get some professionals to come in here and help me out for however many hours a day I need, or to find a place where that person is going to live apart from you, where you know they're going to be safe and dealing with people who aren't angry. That's my tips to her. If you have any suggestions on how you have dealt with anger, I would love to hear about them. You can contact me at shaycompanions.com. You can also leave a comment right below here on the YouTube channel, and I'll be able to respond to you there. Thank you for letting me know what things are going on with you. That helps me to explain that to everybody else, and we can talk about it and we can all learn from each other. That's what we're here for. I think you're doing a great job. I know you're doing a good job. Thank you for watching. My name is Kim Shay.